So the second component, self-management, our ability to be able to regulate our emotions and impulses, our openness to new experiences, and the ability to be able to stay true to our own values, even in times of adversity. So how competent are we at staying in control? And self-management is one of those areas where things can go very wrong, have severe consequences. Loss of talent. Some of your best talent could leave because of the lack of self-management, or could even end up in lawsuits. We all know people in our workplaces that struggle with self-management. We ourselves might struggle with self-management. We know the person who loses their temper. You might be that person. I might be that person. Micromanagement is another form of loss of control, as is bullying and harassment. Now, of the careers that get derailed, 75% of them are related to emotional competencies or lack of emotional competency. So it's important that we consciously regulate and manage our emotions. So let's just take a look at some of those strategies that can be effective. The first one, labeling. Trying not to feel bad about something doesn't work. And you can look up the research from Dr. David Rock on that from 2009. People often try to suppress what they feel about an event or a situation, you know, in an effort to carry on. And we hear that common phrase, just suck it up. But it doesn't help. Putting feelings into words is referred to as an affect labeling, and has been proven to be an effective regulation strategy. And there's evidence to show that labeling produces an immediate reduction of autonomic response to an emotional event, such as decreased heart rate, decreased cardiac output, which suggests a movement away from that emotion. And most importantly, it starts to calm us down. So labeling is about actively noticing the emotion or feeling and taking time to label it, to label the feeling. Now you can say it, the feeling out loud, or you can just say it in your head. And what I suggest you do is in the next couple of weeks, just try and label your feelings. As soon as those feelings, you become consciously aware. And that's, you know, one of the other issues is that for many of us, we don't spend as much time as we really should being present in the moment. We're not in touch with our inner feelings moment by moment. But when you notice a feeling, try and label it and notice if that over that kind of period of a 2-week period, if it starts to help you actually experience less emotional arousal. So labeling then leads us back into that emotional granularity that I was talking about. And according to Feldman Barrett, anger, sadness, disgust, surprise, they're all the categories of emotions. But if we can distinguish the finer meanings within those categories, so angry, we could be aggrieved, grumpy, frustrated, etc., then our brain has more options for predicting the possible outcome. The brain has more, it's able to categorize the situation better and what level of potential threat or reward is likely to be the outcome. And then that helps us understand more about the emotion, which then enables more flexible and functional kind of responses. So distinguishing finer meaning is referred to as emotional granularity, and we can improve our emotional intelligence by improving our emotional granularity. Reappraisal is another tool. Cognitive reappraisal, reframing, it's often referred to. And reappraisal is looking at an event and actively changing your viewpoint on it. Having an explanation for an experience reduces the ambiguity of it, which then goes on to reduce the stress. It helps to calm down our amygdala and our threat responses. Think of the time, or think of the last time you were relatively upset by an event at work. Now, at the time, the emotional experience may have been quite overwhelming, yet now, with some time and distance between that event, your interpretation of the experience naturally tends to moderate. And cognitive appraisal is a way of essentially speeding up the pace by actively engaging in another perspective on an event in order to change our perception of it. Now, you can assist this process by asking yourself, is there a different way of viewing this situation? Is there an opportunity in this situation that might be beneficial that I haven't considered before? Cognitive reappraisal can be used in emotional regulation, in the moment, or after the event, by trying to kind of reinterpret the event in a more positive way. You know, what did I learn from that situation that I can take into the future? Normalizing is one reappraisal technique. Normalizing an emotional state, and that can be really effective. So statements like, most people would feel anxious in this situation, or it's not unusual to feel uncertain when starting a new job or a new project. Normalizing is something we can use for ourselves or in our workplace with others. And lastly, in this section, LION. The LION model was created by Claire Edwards and Linda Ray, and it's a simple model that helps us with recovery from a threat to help us self-regulate in the moment. So when the brain is under perceived threat, it can be very helpful to have a routine to kind of pull out and draw upon, even when we're flipping our lid with an emotional hijack. Labeling, label is the first step. So completing the statement, I am feeling. How is this making you feel right here, right now? Stage 2 is get curious. That's interesting. I wonder what all this is about. It's actually asking yourself those questions. Stage 3, exploring the origin of the event. What is at risk for me right now? And this could be linked to your behavioural preference, your social domain, status, certainty, autonomy, etc. And then the last stage is there a different way of viewing this? It's reappraising the situation. Can I let go of this emotion or feeling? And just making a simple decision to let go can have a very positive effect on regulating your response.